Hello everyone, it's Serpent, and welcome back to another episode in iCraft. Hello. You may notice on my hotbar, I've given in to the dark side. I've swapped over to firework rockets. Sniff. It's just too laggy otherwise. You can't hit yourself with the punch too bow. I'm sorry. I'll keep doing that on single player servers, single player worlds and stuff, but it just doesn't work on servers. Let's see. So, a lot of stuff's happened. For one, I now have tooth brackets, also known as braces, which is annoying. Hopefully it doesn't make me sound too weird. I've already had them once, so so I'm hoping I don't sound any weirder than normal, because of that, because I've already gotten used to it. I've also taken a couple days off because they hurt a lot when you first put them on, and that's why I haven't done anything except the UHCs, and then I think there were a couple days where nothing came out anyway. Yeah, sorry about that. But that's the reason. A lot of stuff's been happening lately. It's just been one thing after another, and I mean, for the past couple months even, I just haven't had a lot of time to record. Or I have, but in spurts. Anyway, sorry about that. It's just sometimes stuff stacks up. Okay. So, in the last episode, we got a lot of sand. Why did I take my fishing rod? We got a lot of sand from the desert, and that fancy machine that we made. And that was pretty good. It worked out rather well. I'm not entirely sure whether it saved a whole lot of time. In fact, I'm fairly sure it didn't save a lot of time. But in any case, it was a lot more fun than mining sand. So that's important, definitely. So I'll call it a win. Okay. So now we're going to put that sand to use. We have I think, what is it? I think 3 double chests full of sand. But funny thing, we can't actually do anything with that sand until we get a lot of gravel, because we're going to need concrete powder and concrete. And that does not come from just sand alone. No. We definitely need some gravel as well. So that's why I got shovels as well as making that machine. I don't know where I put the shovels, but I'll find them eventually. And then we'll go and mine some gravel, and we'll see what we're going to use all that concrete powder for. Yeah, that one's not so great. Alright, so it's come to my attention that this episode is going to have to be either kind of short or not a lot's going to get done. Probably both. Because all that... I had to take a couple days off from school because of Boris's thing. And now I've got a whole lot of homework to catch up on, so we're going to have to keep this a little bit brief. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to outline what I want this area to end up looking like in the long run, and we're going to do a little bit of slight terraforming, and basically just I'm going to show you what's going to happen. So I think I'll put up a picture of oh, that was not a lot of not a lot of blocks there. I thought that would go a bit further. Let's see, that was gray. So I'm probably going to put up a picture of what I think stuff is going to look like when it's done. Just a drawing, because I've already drawn it. And then I'm going to. And then we're just going to continue on with it, really. So, here's the picture. And now that you've enjoyed that, oh, I tried to double tap space there and fly. So we want that that ground there to be sort of ashy, like it's been volcanoized, like it's near a volcano and ash has come out of the volcano and landed on the ground, sort of like a coating of snow, but with ash. I need to make some more hard stuff, and then we're going to have those cool little spiky things poking up in places. Really? That's it? I thought I did more. Oh, I caught most of it. Okay. What? There's so much lag right now. Just, I guess my bars don't really show it well, but there is. Okay, so then we're going to have some of it be this hard stuff instead. I'm not entirely sure how much of it, but just enough to... Oh, that doesn't really look so great, does it? I don't know. It looks alright. But does it? Let me get a bird's eye view. Or a thing that's high up eye view. I don't know. That looks a bit messy. Those textures aren't really too similar. I thought they'd be more so. I'm not entirely sure what to do now. I need a block like this, but if there are no other blocks like that, I mean, I brought this, but that's just ludicrously off what we want, and then so is that. What about the dark stuff? Yeah, that's pretty bad too. What about gravel? Gravel might work. This chest. I had to go underwater and mine a bunch of gravel from the ground there. Collect some. I've got a lot more than this, probably about a chest full. And the speed at which that was achieved, no, that's terrible too. Really has sort of helped me realize just how much time I wasted making those machines last time. Sort of funny, but it was fun. It was fun, and it made a nifty little video, so that's all good. But yeah, this. Meh. That doesn't look good. It really doesn't. But if we get rid of this, then it's just going to be a plain slab of one block, isn't it? That's not really nice either. However, that might be better. I guess we can try and... obviously it's not going to be completely flat, by the way. But I guess we can try and break it up with stuff. Let me think on this for a moment. Well, I'd like to try some cyan clay in with this, but since I've already spent about an hour flying around looking for materials, and I don't want to, and I still do have that homework, I don't think we'll be trying it for now. I'll just go get it some other time and we'll try that. So imagine this looks good. Oh, where's the zombie? Whatever. So we want something like this, some sort of ground like that, and this is the right stuff, right? Yeah. Okay. So if we get a bigger patch, then in the middle of it, I shall put one of those little spiky things that you saw in the picture. So just give me a second to biggin up this patch, and then we'll do that. Okay, so this is where the other materials that we gathered will actually come into play. We want the spikes to have this stuff just sort of we want them buried in this stuff with a little lip of it around around the spike. So in the middle we want some of this harder more solidified spiky texture stuff, and let's see, we'll probably just want it coming up a bit like this. None of this, or much of this, will be invisible, just because it will be because of that lip that I just talked about. So probably this is turning out rather weird. I had it at one point. It looked sort of good, and then I ruined it. Let's see. Let's put a block here and then remove that one. Yeah, okay. So that's the basic shape, and then we'll cover the base of it in some of this stuff. We'll get to that in just a moment, because we want along this line here, I want it to darken steadily from this to maybe this or something. Probably just to black concrete straight from this, because this stuff is a little bit the wrong texture. So let's see, maybe break those two and then place that, and then instead of that one on the top there, I want it to be obsidian at the tip, because that turns sort of blue and that's a nice little tint. Let's see what's slightly darker than this, and we'll make a nice transition between those two, because that's what we're really stumped on at the moment. Let me give it just give me a second, and I'll try and find a block that would make that transition nice. Alright, I couldn't find a suitable transitioner, so that's the best I could do, mixing it in a little bit here and then less over here. But I now want to work on that lip that we discussed earlier. I did try, by the way, the black concrete powder, and that just didn't work. The texture was too grainy. So let's try this. I'm not entirely sure how well this is working. Not very. Let's try again. Okay. Where'd it go? Oh, whoops. Apparently I can't see it very well. So, I think what's going on here is just we're trying to transition this spike into a very flat surface, and that's not a good idea. I need to roughen up the surface a little, because yeah, that just looks stupid, doesn't it? Yeah. So I need to just go around and make things a little bit less uniform, like this, and hopefully that will make things look slightly what's going on? I've got so much lag right now, and I have no idea why, because I actually improved my internet situation since some time ago, and yet this does not seem to be a very good internet situation. Let's see. So this is working a little bit better. Not that well still. Actually, that looks pretty cool. Yeah, I'm starting to like this. Which is, not entirely common. A lot of the stuff I build I don't actually like that much. Interestingly enough. Let's see. Yeah, that's starting to look pretty nice. I would like another piece of obsidian on the end here. There we go. Make it a little bit more spiky. And then we also need a block here because of that. Let's see. That should go well. Maybe get rid of this. Yeah. Okay. This is starting to... Well, I've said that multiple times now. but it is actually starting to look kind of cool. Might need some beefing up right here. Maybe that. That. And then maybe that. Yeah. Looks good. Okay. So let's sort of sprinkle the ash around now. Not entirely sure what the ash is actually supposed to be, but whatever. Plop, 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 plop. Okay. So, I think it looks better from this angle. And maybe up a bit. Yeah, okay. So we'll have those sprinkled around at about the, at roughly the frequency that was in the picture that I showed you. And hopefully that'll look good. And then we'll also have, as I have been doing, we'll also have the slightly rougher ground, since we probably won't have a block that goes with, that mixes nicely in with that. We'll have to fix that by having ununiform heights. And I think that'll look pretty cool. So we'll have that be the terrain. Now we also want to have paths all over the place, or sort of all over the place. And I haven't really decided what material we want those to be made out of. Those could be they could be made out of nether brick, maybe dark oak, not entirely sure. But regardless, we'll have to plan those out, what they're going to be, where they're going to be. Sorry. And we also need to figure out where we want to place that big tower. Now the tower, I'm not entirely sure whether that's actually going to be what it looks like. I've been thinking about this. I literally have been thinking about this for months, and that's the best I've got. But we might figure out something better, and if you have a better idea, and you probably do, to be honest, you can put that in the comments. That would be very helpful. But I want the tower thing to be over by one of these walls here, either there or there. And I think over here is better because it's got that cool cavey bit. On the other hand, we could have that be something neat, and then over here is the castle thing, the tower, and then there will be a path between them. And I think that's the better idea. So the castle thing is going to be rather large, ideally. I mean, if it isn't, then it's going to look puny, and not really that great. So we want to actually put work into this, is what I'm saying. So to plan it out, I'm just going to lay down a bunch of probably stone bricks, but I've got a lot of stuff in my inventory, so I need to get rid of that quickly. Alright, so we need to... I've got my eye on you. We need to decide how big this is actually going to be. I want it to be a very tall thing, but I don't know how far out those littler triangular tower things will come out from the main ones. So I would estimate that somewhere from over here, going around like this, would be the radius of the whole thing. I think that would probably end up looking best, although I haven't really seen how big this is, so let's take a look at that in just a moment once I've finished. Yeah, I think it'll be pretty much circular. I can barely see those things, but yeah, I think that's about the right size. And then we'll go into the middle. Oh, that's where the horse went. I've been looking for him since day one. He was the best horse I had, so I'm glad I found him. apparently putting him in a hole like that was not a bright idea, because that is the first I've seen of him in a very long time. So how high are we? We're pretty low down. We can afford to go up as high as we want, basically. So I don't really know how high this is, but if I get off this pillar, then I'll never be able to get back on, and that means that I don't want to get off it. Okay. So the problem with all this terraforming business is that we're going to have to terraform a lot of space. I imagine we'll probably start with the basin down there, and then move up to the surrounding mountains. I don't want to terraform too much. We'll probably have an edge to this biome, a purposeful edge to the biome. Let's see how tall this is. Yeah, we'll probably have a purposeful edge to the biome. Smooth rocket. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That looks good. That works. Although with the height there, I don't know. It might be a little bit tall. Makes the spikes look kind of puny. I might have to beef those up too. Actually, yeah, that's a good height. It might be a little short, in fact. I don't know. Somewhere around there is good though. And then I think we'll probably need to expand the outer ring there a little. But let's move on to the paths, because there's a couple different things that I want the paths to be doing. So from somewhere, I want a lava river. There we go. I want a lava river, and I don't know where I want it. So let's try and figure that out. It would be cool to have the main path from this thing lead out from this, obviously, and then split up, and right in front of the building, it would be great to have the river of lava, and the path would have a bridge over it. So the lava river could come from that mountain, say. There's a nice big hole there, in fact, that the lava could come out of. So let's see. We want it doing something like this. Over to that big hole. And we'll probably have it a little bit more windy than this is, but for now it'll do fine. So, yeah, that's about right. And we'll probably have to get rid of that ice there. So I was thinking the snow is probably going to be a problem. I don't know what I'm going to be doing about that, but we'll have to deal with it somehow. So there's the lava river, or at least one part of it. We might end up doing multiple branches. Ooh, but an idea came to my mind. We could have the lava river disappear into a big old pit right here, and then do something with the pit. Let's see. So that's working pretty well. Now for the paths, we definitely want one going over this lava river, like I said, and then maybe going around here, because we're going to be doing something with that. I've decided that. Probably some sort of crystal mining thing, something like that. So let's put a path over to here, and then stop with that. And something could go over there too, by the main source of the lava, perhaps. We could have some sort of energy harvester that harvested the energy of the lava at the mouth of the thing, where the lava was most strong, most powerful, or something like that. And we'll have it cross over the lava again, because that's always interesting, bridges. And then run alongside it, perhaps, and then, yeah, something here. I'm liking how this is turning out. Yeah. Okay, so we have that, and we have that, and the lava river, and a couple paths. I imagine we'll be adding paths as we figure out stuff. So we could have somewhere around here. Actually, let's see. Somewhere around this place in general, I want some sort of residential area, because that's sort of for the rulers or whatever, the giant palace thing, towers. And we might want to have some area for the less important people, maybe just under here, or something cool could happen with this. I don't know. We could have some sort of crystals across the top, another crystal-y mining area or something. I don't know. That could be cool. So let's put a path over to here, because apparently something's going to happen here, regardless of whether it's that crystal thing or not. Let's not have it connect to exactly the same place, because that'll look kind of stupid. Or, I don't know, we could have a crossroads. I'll have it connect near, but not to it. And we can always change it, of course. Alright. So, I think that's going to be about that, because, as I said, I do have homework to catch up on, and we've basically finished planning what we wanted. If I can get off the ground. Okay, that might have been my fault, but the rest of it wasn't. So we've planned what we want to do with this and what we want to do with the area in general. Okay, let's try and get an actual view of the thing. So we have the path going over to the mountain and the lava river going across the whole place. We might have another branch of that river, by the way. We've got the tower, and it'll go underneath here, and we'll do something with this, maybe residential. And then a mining operation in this cave here. Those rockets are very delayed. And we'll terraform the whole thing, hopefully. So, hopefully you enjoyed this episode, but unfortunately that's all the time I have for today. So, interesting. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.